Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me for episode 6 of this FIFA 15 European Super League. We start off with some bad news that Marcos Rojo, whilst on international duty, suffered a medial collateral ligament damage, so he's going to be out for 2 months. Bit of a blow for our left back situation, as we've only got Luke Shaw, who's only really coming back from injury himself, so not looking too good for that department at the moment. This episode as well, it's going to be a Premier League special as we start off against Chelsea. Our next fixture will be away at the Etihad against Manchester City. 2 huge fixtures, Chelsea being the biggest one really, because they are top of the pile at the moment in this European Super League. They are the team to beat, and of course a win for United, as you just saw on the league table, would push us above Chelsea and knock them back a level or 2. That's where they belong. This is my starting lineup. I did go with Ashley Young, as Depay was looking slightly tired after that midweek fixture against Monaco away, where we won 3-2. Van Persie stays in the side after his tremendous performances lately, being our top goal scorer so far. So I was looking to him for inspiration in front of goal, and we were going to need it, especially against Chelsea's back four, which is so strong. Ivanovic, Zuma, Terry and Felipe Luis. It was surprising that Mourinho had chosen Luis over Azpilicueta, but maybe Azpilicueta was not really match fit for this game at Old Trafford. Maybe Mourinho thought Azpilicueta wasn't up to the challenge of coming up against Angel Di Maria, who's been impressive so far this season as well for this FIFA 15 European Super League. It was Chelsea that got things started with an attack by Diego Costa, finding Oscar in the penalty area, and all this time whilst playing Chelsea I was keeping in mind that fixture in my career mode. I think it was my first season against Chelsea at Old Trafford, and we conceded within just a minute, probably less than that, and it had to be the quickest goal that I've witnessed on FIFA from Diego Costa. So I was kind of taking that into account for this game and hoping to get a bit of revenge, and keeping in mind as well that every game is being played on Legendary, so it's that extra challenge for me and for Manchester United, and a challenge it was, as you guys would expect. It was an interesting one. I mean, both teams, they didn't sit back, they just went for each other's throats, trying to get that first goal, trying to get in front and try to come away with those 3 points. I just had to be careful with what I was doing, think about our movements, watching for those runs being made by Van Persie and Wayne Rooney, and my wingers as well in Di Maria and Ashley Young. Van Persie came close to getting the first goal with that shot on his left foot. It was destined for the top left hand corner, but Courtois made it look so easy, just having to stick his hand out, as simple as that, to swat the ball away for a corner. But that didn't put us off. Di Maria with a chance there, hit on his left foot, his best side there for Di Maria, and it was stopped again by Courtois. He was an absolute wall for Chelsea in the first half. This game was an absolute battle. It was a war against Chelsea, so unforgiving. There were individual battles going on across the field, Ander Herrera and Hazard being one of them. You can see they both almost tie up, they almost lock horns there. It's funny with Hazard because he's just one of those players that just wants to get on with his football. He doesn't care whether he's just been challenged. He just wants to get stuck in, get involved and see what he can come up with for his team. A real team player. What I really liked about this game as well, as I've probably mentioned a couple of times in the past, we missed that old school style football where you'd have rivalries on the pitch, and there is exactly that in this game. We've already seen it with Ander Herrera and Hazard. All the players just trying to outdo each other, trying to bet themselves as well. You'll see what I mean as the video goes on. But half-time at Old Trafford, both Manchester United and Chelsea went in at deadlock. It was still 0-0, both De Gea and Courtois being the deciding factors there for keeping this game level. In the second half, Ashley Young took the ball into the penalty area, gave it to Wayne Rooney, who got his shot away, but he just couldn't find the way through into the back of the net with that one. Courtois putting a stop to it again. And there was another battle on the pitch between Rooney and Willian. There's so many individual battles going on. Willian did get a yellow card for his challenge, and you'll see it on the replay that maybe he deserved slightly more than just the yellow. Maybe he should have been sent off for this challenge. no intention for the ball. He swipes Rooney's legs away from underneath him. A poor challenge on Willian's half, and again there's that replay of the bit of a tussle going on, a bit of an argument between those two players, and a bit later it was certainly getting Wayne Rooney amped up, and he came close to making it 1-0 with that powerful shot as it just went whizzing over. And that moment kind of reminded me of that real life moment with Wayne Rooney when we played Newcastle in 2005. He finished arguing with the referee, and then boom, goes and scores that fantastic finish, probably one of my favourite goals from Wayne Rooney. And then at the other end, just moments later, it was Willian that was denied a goal just like Wayne Rooney, as David De Gea put a stop to that powerful shot. And then, with just seconds to go, Manchester United were on the attack. And you can see Ander Herrera giving the ball to Gundogan, trying to get the ball pumped into the box as quick as possible, trying to get another shot away, seeing if we could get a winner. And we were given a free kick. Folks, this was just like that opportunity against Atletico Madrid, in the same sort of position as well, for Angel Di Maria. It was against Chelsea. I've scored a free kick against Chelsea back in my career mode, and it was right at the end of the game. It would prove to be the last chance. Would Angel Di Maria, the amount of pressure that was on his shoulders at this point, 23 yards out, we could beat the league leaders here with this free kick. Would Di Maria convert it? No, he wouldn't, as it was struck right at the wall. But Dani Alves followed up with a strike of his own on his left foot, and it was right on target, but it was a simple save for Courtois. And in the end, when the dust had settled, it was Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0, and I'm certainly going to put that game in that category of one of those games. It was something special, even though there were no goals. It was a joy to play in, and Chris Smalling picked up the Man of the Match award for United. I probably would have given that to maybe De Gea or Wayne Rooney for United, but Chris Smalling came away with it. Here were the league standings after that fixture against Chelsea, then heading into our next game against Manchester City at the Etihad. We are in 4th with just 2 points behind Chelsea, and Man City all the way down in 14th, but they've still got a chance to try and get back in the mix of things, and they would look to start here in the Manchester derby. City, United, Etihad Stadium. I was looking forward to this. It was a midweek fixture with the floodlights beaming down onto the pitch, and it was amazing to see the stadium completely full for this game. Just thinking about it, that's the beauty of this Super League. You can't let up, you can't take a break. You've got to make sure that you're winning game in, game out, because if you do, you're going to have the likes of Man City trying to pit you to those 3 points, and they will get them as well, because with the games we played on Legendary, there's just no relaxing. You just cannot sit back. You can't afford to just think, you know what, I'm going to play my reserves for this game because I think we'll focus on the next game. There's no room for that. There is no room for that. You'll see that I didn't really change the team around too much after that fixture against Chelsea. Van Persie maintained his spot in the starting lineup. Depay came in for Ashley Young. I think that was only really the one change. Mata started instead of Herrera, who was looking tired. So there was only 2 changes to the United side. That drew against Chelsea, the league leaders, on the weekend. And of course Man City were going to look to take advantage of United being without Herrera in the centre of midfield. But Mata, he's no pushover. He was going to take no crap from the likes of Torre and Fernando and Fernandinho if he was an option for Pellegrini. And we've already seen what Memphis Depay can do after that performance against Monaco. He was superb, and previous to that we've seen glimmers of something special from him. So I was expecting the same in this fixture against Man City to really cement a first team spot in the side for the rest of this European Super League season. Now look at Fernando and Milner exchanging passes there. When the ball left the feet of Fernando, it was too late for Chris Smalling because the challenge had already been made on Fernando. The penalty was given in front of the United fans. You can see Fernando just gets his pass away, or I think it was a shot actually. He gets his shot away before Smalling made the initial challenge. And it would be Captain Yaya Toure to step up and take this in front of the United fans. 24 minutes gone. I wasn't too happy about this. Up against De Gea. Toure would put it wide, wouldn't he? I couldn't stop laughing at this point. I had to go and watch the replay of just seeing him slip and De Gea did go the wrong way. I mean, Toure could have easily have made it 1-0, and he'll be kicking himself that he didn't convert that penalty into a goal. It was City's chance to make it 1-0, of course, a chance to be high on confidence. They could have even then parked the bus and completely shut up shop and held on to that 1-0 lead and come away with 3 points against their bitter rivals United. It just would have meant so much. It was so vital that they came away with a win here against United, because if they didn't, they would find themselves in a world of trouble in this European Super League. But look at Memphis Depay. So brilliant with the ball at his feet, how swiftly he can move in and around the defence, and he whipped that in. We almost made it 1-0, but it was Caballero, I think that's how you pronounce his name, that stopped Di Maria's header from going into the back of the net, keeping the game at 0-0. Again, both teams going in at half-time, just like that game against Chelsea, at a complete deadlock. In the second, Jovetic whipped in the ball. We forced him out wide there to actually crossing the ball, and he's not the best at crossing, Jovetic. He's better off playing in the centre of that penalty area. It should have been him heading the ball, if anything, not Fernando, and De Gea did exceptionally well to tip that over with just his fingertips. And look at this moment for Jovetic. He was getting closer and closer as the game went on in the second half for Man City, and really he should be putting that one away. He was right there in front of goal, he was onside, should be putting that ball into the back of the net. Now look at how Dani Alves got nudged off the ball by Nasri, but I went straight back at it and he won it, giving it to Van Persie, who struck it first time on the outside of his left foot, and the ball just went whizzing over into the away section. The heat had certainly been turned up in this second half between City and United. It was a poor clearance from Wayne Rooney, which led to Nasri finding David Silva, who was sensational for City, the architect, if anything, for Man City. But we hit them on the break. Rooney making up for that mistake earlier on, which could have cost us, finding Memphis Depay, but he lost the ball there to Gundogan. But we kept the ball forwards, we kept attacking City, and that's the main thing, keeping that intensity going. And Di Maria, just on the outside of the penalty area, whipped the ball in on his left foot and found the head of Robin Van Persie. There is that celebration. I bet you guys never thought you'd see that again, but it was a good finish nonetheless from Robin Van Persie, clipping the inside of the post, the ball going across the line. Manchester United 1-0 up against City at the Etihad. Doesn't get any better than that. City got desperate with just seconds to go. Fernandinho, who come on to replace Fernando, seeked out that run made by Toure, and he did, but the ball just glanced off the head of Toure. There wasn't anything to it, and the ball ended up into the hands of De Gea before you knew it. And that would be it. Manchester United would go on to beat Man City 1-0 at the Etihad. Doesn't get any better than that, folks, and we carry on with this momentum. We're doing so good at the moment, and we can't afford to let our heads drop. I was a bit confused to see that none of the United players had been given the Man of the Match award until I looked at City's team and found out that it was David Silva that had been awarded the Man of the Match, and that's fair enough. Silva did a superb job for City, but it just wasn't enough to get the win.